So will the Xbox move that Anthony Richardson made against Utah, that play that JJ just played, be the one memory that Anthony Richardson has in a Florida Gators uniform, the tip-top memory? If you haven't heard, he is heading out of Gainesville. He is planning to move on, and the professional game is beckoning Anthony Richardson. So let's get into it. It's XL Primetime. Joe C., Matty Hayes from Saturday Down South. Certainly some strong stuff on AR throughout the year. Mia O'Brien, M.O.B., as we like to call her. All right, now, let's get into – all right, first things first. Let me just make this very clear. There is only one statue of a player wearing 15 that will stay outside the swamp.
And he's a personal friend of the program.
Yeah, it is still intact. Timmy Tebow, the only one that has a statue wearing number 15, this most recent guy that won number 15, is not going to have a statue outside of the swamp. Look, when it's all said and done, Matt, it was an utter disappointment because it was what could have been throughout the entire time that Anthony Richardson was in Gainesville. You saw something, you wanted more, you kept saying what could have been, and now it's gone.
Yeah, but were we sold something? That's what I want to know. Were we sold something that really wasn't there? He's a phenomenal athletic talent, doing backflips, running 4.4, running away from secondaries on quarterback scrambles. What did you see in the season where you say to yourself, all right, that's a quarterback? You saw probably maybe 8 plays, 10 plays where you're like, yeah, that's a quarterback. That's a quarterback that could play at the next level. 8 to 10 plays in a full season, whoever takes him, he's going to go in the first round. He might even go in the first 15. Whoever takes him, you better have a quarterback-centric team with a quarterback-centric coaching staff and the ability to sit him on the bench for 2 or 3 years, much like Jordan Love, much like other guys.
Mahomes sat for a year. Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 years.
But here's another thing, right? Here's another thing, is Aaron Rodgers was a great college player. Patrick Mahomes was a great college player, right? This is not a great college player.
No. You can't put Anthony Richardson and great in the same sentence, right?
You can't even put, you can't even say he's good.
Do you liken him to Josh Allen at Wyoming?
No, because Josh Allen was a terrific, at that level in the Mountain West, was a terrific college player.
Okay, but let me just throw one thing at you. And again, I'm not buying AR stock. I'm selling AR stock right now because I really wanted to see something great and I just didn't. But for the Josh Allen argument, he played 11 games in his senior year. His stats actually got worse from freshman, sophomore to junior. He completed only 56% of his passes in his last year and barely threw for 1,800 yards. Right. So it was not a good number.
No, it wasn't. He wasn't the number guy. He wasn't the number guy in college.
Right.
He was a terrific player for that team in that conference, though. He was. I can still remember the throw against Boise State when it's like 10 degrees in Laramie. And he makes that throw from his own 40, rolling out and throwing it all the way into the end zone on a dart to tie the game with 10 seconds to go. So he clearly had the ability.
Okay, but
now Anthony has the ability. He's got the physical ability. He's got all the traits. He's got the cannon arm. He's got it all, right? I don't think that's it with him. It's the processing that's it with him. That's the problem. Physically, he's got it all. It's the processor. Does he understand the passing game concepts? Does he read the field? And he hasn't shown that consistently. He just hasn't.
Yeah, Josh Allen threw 3,200 yards his second to last season. 3,200 yards, still only completed 56% of his passes, and then dipped to 1,800 yards his last year at Wyoming.
He was also dinged his last year at Wyoming, too.
Well, he played 11 games.
Here's the thing, though.
He played injured for a majority of the season.
Yeah.
There's going to be a team, whether it's in the top 15 or it's somewhere in the first round, that believes that they can change what's between the ears.
Oh, yeah.
There is a team that believes if we give him enough time, we teach him the offense, we give him all the resources possible, he doesn't have to start right away, it's going to be okay. It's going to be worth it. And moreover, they probably view it as we'll preserve his health because once we get him out there, he's going to be a battering ram. You see right now how many hits Justin Fields is taking because he didn't really have the luxury. I know Andy Dalton was there last year, but he didn't really have the luxury to take some time. It was immediately, okay, there aren't a lot of resources around. You're just going to run the ball. And then you're going to throw it when you can, but really, we're just, it's on you. It's on you. Anthony Richardson cannot succeed in the National Football League if it is all on him because we saw it at Florida. It was all put on him. And he didn't succeed the way that everyone thought he would.
I think if he makes it in the league, it's going to be like Taysom Hill. I don't think he's going to be a guy who is a regular starter, a top 10, top 12, top 15 quarterback. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I can see him as Taysom Hill. I can definitely see that.
Yeah. When it's all said and done, this year, 176 completions on 327 attempts, 53.8% completion, and just over 2,500 yards. He threw 17 touchdowns, but he also threw 9 picks. And so here's a guy that had the opportunity, and people kept making excuses. Hey, he's just barely started his 7th game. Oh, wait a minute. He just barely started his 8th game and his 9th game. And
I was one of those people, believe me.
And believe me, I was a buyer too. And I saw something that I thought was special, and I wanted to see more of it, and we just never did. And that's the thing I just keep repeating myself. I saw everything I needed to see, and then I saw nothing.
If this was his freshman season, like if this was his first season in Florida and it was his freshman season in Florida, then you're like, all right, for a guy that just stepped into college football, he might have something. You might have something. You got 2 more years in the game. You see how he progresses. Yeah. This is his 3rd year in college football. And obviously he didn't play much at all in his first 2 years. Mm-hmm. But it's his 3rd year in a system. Different coaches, yes, but 3rd year being coached. 3rd year being specifically coached on passing game concepts, on reading defenses, on processing. And it did not look like a guy who, after 3 years, has been coached all this stuff.
And I will say that's why I can't judge the kid for declaring, because if he comes back, number one, you obviously risk injury. Number two, this is a Florida team that is not going to be an overnight fix. Hello, there's only 31 players right now that could be available for the bowl game. So it's not like he's going to have this finished product around him, although Brian Kelly and LSU would beg to differ. But speaking of Brian Kelly NFL draft aspirations, the other part of it is if Anthony Richardson comes back for a 4th year in Gainesville and those issues with processing pop up, now all of a sudden his draft stock is tanking. Mm-hmm. Right now, it's a great unknown, similar to what we saw with Trey Lance. He only played 1 game in 2 calendar years. And so it was all based on, well, this is what he did in 1 year, and this is the potential, and it's all about the ceiling. It's not about the floor. And I'm not saying that Trey Lance can't process, but the point is if there were red flags, maybe they popped up if he went back to North Dakota State, just like if Anthony Richardson went back, then maybe these issues that folks here in Northeast Florida are seeing, maybe that pops up even more.
So Billy Napier will say all the right things and say he wishes him well. There's no way Billy Napier wanted him back. No way. Because he's gone through a full season with him. And I've been saying this since midseason. If he had any other quarterback that could play, they'd have already played right now. Because you can't win in the SEC when you can't complete a pass. When you can't complete more than 52% of your passes, you are not winning games of significance in the SEC. You're not.
Yeah. All right. Let's not forget I guess the other thing that jumps out, and I'm as critical of Billy as you are. I would have run Anthony Richardson from the jump. Okay. What we saw in that Utah game, I would have said, I am feeding this guy.
Right. But he's trying to protect him because he had nothing behind him.
Well, I understand that, but Billy Napier, I got hired as the head coach. I know in the recruiting game, I'm going to find another guy next year. I'm going to do whatever I possibly can to make this guy shine. I'd have made him, or I'd not make him. I would have had him running the football because when he ran, he opened up the passing game a lot more. Anyway,
he also got injured when he ran.
Not terribly.
So he got injured last year.
Yeah, well, I know that, but I'm talking about this year. I mean,
all I'm saying is he gets injured in week 3. Then what? Then you're 3-9.
He got injured on the sideline or Friday night in the dorm room.
Yes.
Jumping up and down and dancing.
Yes.
I mean,
which is why he's trying to protect him. Yes.
Look, Billy needs to protect himself as a good head coach is what he needs to be thinking about doing. But I just would have put him in a position to run, and then you go recruit the next guy off of the style of play that you're getting out of your current quarterback. That's the only way you should be coaching. Should be coaching scared. Billy Napier came into Gainesville with scared money don't make money, that motto, and he coached scared.
He did.
Anthony
I agree.
He really did.
Well, not only scared about getting him hurt, but he also coached scared about any other coach in that situation would have said, we're going with number 2. Yeah. Because number 1's not working out right now. Mm-hmm. Let's just let him sit on the sideline a little bit and watch this.
Just take a look at what Dabo did the other day in their championship game. Finally sat down DJ
and look what happened.
Put Klubnik in there, and he took off and made some plays. So I was.
Well, look what this franchise is doing.
Yeah,
Josh Allen is sitting more.
Yeah,
Trayvon Walker is sitting more. Because at some point, if they're not making plays, you're just going to leave them out there to just bang your head against the wall.
I guess the other neg to that is the guys that they have been putting in there more. Now all of a sudden we're seeing more of DeJuan Smoot. We're seeing more of the other guys.
Not happening.
They haven't been making plays either. They haven't been doing it either. So, I mean, again, this comes down to personnel and scheme, who's doing what. But let's just wrap this up real quick. Okay, Anthony Richardson is on his way out of Gainesville. Billy Napier will have his biggest test in this offseason, working the portal, working the recruiting ranks like you're talking about, but he dang sure better deliver. They paid him to come in and be the guy to fix Florida. Mullen messed it up. McElwain did more damage probably than Mullen, but Billy was brought in to bring Gainesville back.
By the way, Devin Leary's available now, the NC State quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey,
Now
DJ,
he's in the portal.
And Sammy Hartman.
DJU is also available,
Sam
allegedly.
Hartman. DJU's going to UCLA.
Yeah?
Yeah. Uyunglele. He just did not play well in the end. It was just disappointing for him, too. I mean, he was another guy that you saw everything you needed to see. You really did. Talk about the athletic skill set that you're looking for in a quarterback.
I'll tell you, got to watch out for. In the Orange Bowl, Joe Milton, Tennessee, he's got one more year left. So if he goes in that Orange Bowl game, he plays really well.
I do not want you trying to sell Joe Milton.
Oh, no. What I'm telling you is
he'll stay at Tennessee.
What I'm telling no, he's not
Spielberg's having a meltdown right now.
He's definitely leaving, but my point is he can win himself a Power 5 job at a nice school with a big game in the Orange Bowl because the freshman they have that they're paying $8 million to, Nico Iamaleava,
right.
he's coming in and playing. But Joe Milton, I mean, he's literally playing for a job right now in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the 2 o'clock hour, and we got to get back to the Jags, talk about that. But you guys can hit the text line, 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures on Anthony Richardson. Is he a success in the National Football League, yay or nay? And then what happens next in Gainesville? You can also hit the pop-off line, 207-7071. Chime in on that subject, or please chime in on your Jacksonville Jaguars just taking it on the chin. They went into Detroit, the home of Joe Louis, and they got knocked out by a heavyweight Detroit Lion team. Matt from Ponte Vedra says, please, God, no, Joe Milton. No.
All I'm telling you guys is
no.
He's going to win. He's going to get a job with a Power 5 team because he's going to throw for like 340 and a couple scores. He'll probably throw a pick. They may win the game. They may not. But people see that arm and they'll go, whoa.
All right, into the 2 o'clock hour we go. It's XL Primetime.